Have you ever looked at a glass of milk and thought, "This is my best friend for strong bones"? 7 foods that contain more calcium than milk help you get stronger bones. What if I told you that there are foods, yes, common foods, that have a higher calcium content than milk, and that you may already have them in your kitchen? What's even more unexpected is this. In addition to being better for your bones, some of these meals are also better for your heart, simpler to digest, and ideal for those over 50. Hello, and welcome to Healthy Life Channel again. I'm James, and in this video, we're delving deeply into a subject that is far more important than we frequently realize. Calcium. I understand that if you're over 50, you've undoubtedly heard several times that you need more calcium to keep your bones strong, prevent fractures, and maintain an active lifestyle. Perhaps you've seen too many advertisements promoting milk as the best source, or your doctor may have mentioned it. Here's the reality, though. Consuming milk isn't the only way to get calcium, and there isn't a single food that works for everyone, especially as we get older. I'd like to share with you today 7 potent natural calcium sources that go above and beyond the norm. These foods are readily available, easy to incorporate into your meals, and rich in nutrients that support healthy bones. This movie is for anyone who wants to live a better lifestyle without consuming dairy products, whether they are vegan, lactose intolerant, or otherwise. Beyond simply naming meals, we'll explain how they function, how to use them in everyday situations, what mistakes to avoid, and how to maximize absorption by combining them with other nutrients. So pour yourself a cup of tea, settle back, and learn how to take care of your bones in a tasty, sustainable, and natural way. Are you prepared to reconsider your understanding of calcium? Let's begin. I would love to hear from you, Poonjay, before we start going through the list. Have you ever had trouble getting enough calcium without eating dairy products? Or have you discovered a diet that significantly affected your bone health, vitality, or sleep? Let's discuss in the remarks section below. Someone watching today, possibly even someone like you, might benefit from your experience. The reason calcium is more than simply milk. When we think of calcium, we typically picture a glass of cool milk, possibly with a cookie on the side. We've heard that drinking milk will make you stronger. However, as we age, our bones and bodies tell a different tale. Many people are unaware that adequate calcium intake depends on both your body's ability to absorb it and how much you eat. And regrettably, our natural capacity to absorb calcium declines with age. The benefits of calcium extend well beyond preventing bone brittleness. Additionally, it promotes healthy neuron and muscle function, including your heart, hormone release, and brain-body synchronization. Mary used to be my neighbor. She is 68 years old and vibrant. However, she broke her wrist when she stumbled on her porch last winter. "I believed I was doing everything correctly," she said. "Every day I consume milk." Her calcium levels were still low, it turned out. It was more than just the milk, her doctor stated. It had to do with what else she was or wasn't eating and how her body interpreted it. Please let me know where you're coming from today before we begin. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss any of Senior Health's top health advice. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. This is a typical error, assuming that the secret to strong bones is milk. However, calcium actually comes from a variety of sources, some of which are considerably more abundant and better for absorption. What's the good news? For people who are lactose intolerant or prefer non-dairy options, Many of these sources are more readily available, plant-based, and easy on the stomach. If you've been under the impression that calcium is only found in milk, you'll be surprised by what follows. Let's start with a small seed that has a big effect on bone health. Seeds of chia. Chia seeds are tiny giants of health and bone. You might raise an eyebrow if someone told you that 1 tablespoon of tiny black seeds could help strengthen your bones. However, one of nature's most powerful sources of calcium is chia seeds. Yes, the same ones you've added to smoothie bowls or tossed into overnight oats. Over 600 milligrams of calcium can be found in just 100 grams of chia seeds. They have additional benefits including plant-based protein, fiber for better digestion, and omega-3 fatty acids, which are excellent for heart and brain health. That's more than most dairy products. However, the unique quality of chia seeds is their adaptability and gentleness on the body, particularly as we age. Chia is a great option for people who have stomach issues from dairy products or who just want a plant-based diet. I wonder how I'm supposed to use these. I'll give you a basic notion. Make chia pudding overnight. Combine 1 cup of almond milk, or any other type of milk, 2 teaspoons of chia seeds, a little pinch of honey or cinnamon, and leave in the refrigerator overnight. It turns into a delicious, creamy, and calcium-rich breakfast in the morning. After watching one of our earlier films, Alan, a 72-year-old viewer, wrote to tell he began including chia into his morning yogurt. His doctor reported an improvement in bone density 3 months later. Is chia alone to blame? Most likely not. It didn't hurt, though. The takeaway. Small dietary adjustments, such as including chia seeds, can have a big impact, particularly on your bones. Wait until you meet the next one if you're enjoying learning about these little but powerful delicacies. You may already be nibbling on it because it's tasty and crispy. Let's discuss almonds. A crunchy approach to promote bone strength is with almonds. Snacking is a natural part of life, and it's simple to go for cookies or chips when you have a craving in the afternoon. However, what if we told you that there is a tasty, filling snack that also promotes bone health? Now for the almonds. These crunchy little nuts are nutrient-dense in addition to being delicious. You can get about 260 milligrams of calcium from just 100 grams of almonds. That's a good addition to your daily requirements. Almonds, however, are more than that. Additionally, they supply magnesium, which improves the way your body absorbs calcium. One potent antioxidant that promotes cell health is vitamin E, and heart-healthy lipids that maintain heart health. This is when things start to get interesting. For bones, calcium and magnesium make the perfect combination. Although calcium aids in the formation of bone structure, magnesium makes sure calcium enters your bones and not your arteries. Judy, a 65-year-old member of our community, reported that she began to keep a little jar of almonds on her kitchen counter. She gets a handful every afternoon, rather than cookies. She appears to have stronger bones and nails in addition to feeling more energized. And you know what? Adding almonds to your day is simple. As a snack, eat them simple. Add them to yogurt or salads. Try toast with almond butter. Or prepare your own almond milk. You wouldn't believe how simple it is. The finest aspect? In contrast to many calcium pills, almonds include a variety of nutrients that your body can utilize. Let your bones be grateful the next time you grab for a snack. Speaking of snacks and seeds, your cupboard is also home to another little powerhouse. Sesame seeds, which are tiny but incredibly high in calcium, come next. Tahini and sesame seeds are tiny but powerful for bone health. Sometimes the smallest containers contain the most powerful nutrition. The ideal example is sesame seeds. Most likely, you've seen them sprinkled on sushi rolls or burger buns. However, did you know that there are about 1,000 milligrams of calcium in 100 grams of sesame seeds? It's nearly 4 times as much as milk. Quite remarkable for something so tiny, isn't it? However, the benefits of sesame seeds extend beyond calcium. Additionally, they offer zinc, which promotes bone regeneration, magnesium, and phosphorus, which are both necessary for preserving bone integrity, and good fats that lower inflammation and promote joint health. The ease with which sesame seeds can be included into your dishes is one of its best qualities. They don't need any elaborate preparation. Try tahini, a creamy sesame paste that is a mainstay in Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cuisines, or sprinkle them on salads or roasted vegetables. You can even include them into baked products like bread or muffins. A few years back, I recall going to see a buddy in Lebanon. In keeping with a long-standing family custom, her father would have a piece of flatbread with tahini and olive oil every morning. Without a cane, he continued to walk several kilometers every day at the age of 82. It got me to thinking. Perhaps there is something about these traditional dishes that we haven't noticed. Just one small thing to keep in mind. The high oxalate content of sesame seeds may somewhat impair calcium absorption. However, their advantages greatly exceed the drawbacks when consumed as a component of a well-balanced diet high in vitamin D and magnesium. Therefore, don't undervalue the impact of a sprinkle the next time you're adding a garnish to your food. Are you prepared to discover an even more surprising calcium-rich food from the ocean? Now let's explore sardines. With the bones, yes. Nature's calcium capsule is a sardine with bones. Sardines may not be at the top of your grocery list if you're like most people. They come in a can, have a powerful flavor, and, well, they still contain bones. However, that final section? Their superpower is that. One of the best animal-based sources of calcium is sardines, especially when consumed with their bones. About 380 milligrams of calcium can be obtained from just 100 grams. It is easy to chew and digest such small bones. However, sardines' magic doesn't end there. They also contain vitamin D, which is necessary for the absorption of calcium. Omega-3 fatty acids promote heart and brain function and lower inflammation. And premium protein, which is ideal for preserving muscle mass as we age. Not everyone is aware of this. If you are deficient in vitamin D, calcium supplements may occasionally result in accumulation in undesirable areas, such as arteries. By combining calcium and vitamin D in a single, bite-sized package, sardines naturally provide the solution to that conundrum. In his 70s, my Uncle Joe used to utterly ignore sardines. His cardiologist then suggested them one day due to their heart-healthy properties. He tried it. Squeeze a lemon over bread and mash the sardines. He claims to have increased energy after doing it every week. Try incorporating sardines into tomato-based pasta sauces, preparing a sardine salad with mustard and herbs, or serving them with sliced cucumber on crackers for a light lunch if the thought of eating them plain seems daunting. Therefore, these little fish are mini health treasure troves, bones and all. And let's examine the potential of tofu, particularly calcium-enriched tofu, if you're searching for a plant-based, very adaptable food that is high in calcium. Calcium set. Tofu. The superfood that is vegan. If you're looking for plant-based alternatives, tofu may already be on your radar, and you're missing it. But did you know that when it comes to calcium, not all tofu is made equal? The secret is right here. Calcium set. Tofu, also known as tofu prepared with calcium sulfate, is a secret treasure for bone health. You can obtain about 350 mg of calcium in 100 grams, which is equivalent to a glass of milk, but completely plant-based and cholesterol-free. Why is this important? Many of us grow increasingly sensitive to dairy as we get older. Whether you have stomach issues, lactose intolerance, or just desire a lighter diet, tofu offers a simple, mild substitute. Don't be fooled by its silky texture, though. The powerhouse is tofu. Excellent for preserving lean muscle mass, high in plant protein. In addition to iron and magnesium, it is naturally fortified with calcium when prepared properly. Tofu is renowned for its versatility, so you may be wondering how to use it. It absorbs any flavor you put it with, whether it's salty, sweet, spicy, or anything else. Here are a few simple suggestions. Stir-fry with garlic and broccoli for a supper high in calcium. Blend to provide a creamy texture to smoothies. Or, for a crunchy, nutritious snack, bake tofu cubes with herbs and olive oil. A retired nurse in her 60s named Carol, whom I briefly met, changed to tofu after her cholesterol rose. "I never imagined I'd enjoy it, but now I want it," she said. She's never looked back since her doctor gave her the all-clear. When you choose the perfect tofu, you're giving your bones more than just a meat substitute. Next, let's enter the garden and examine a leafy green that has a calcium content that is unexpectedly high. Next up comes kale, which is more than just a trendy health food. Kale versus collard greens, the showdown with calcium. In terms of leafy greens, kale has gained a lot of popularity recently. It has appeared in salads, chips, smoothies, and more. In the corner, however, is another leafy green that is equally, if not more, nutrient-dense: collard greens. Both greens are great providers of calcium, especially for people who don't eat dairy. They stack up like this. About 150 milligrams of calcium are included in 100 grams of kale. It shines because of its bioavailability, which indicates that your body can effectively absorb that calcium. Conversely, collard greens provide roughly 230 milligrams per 100 grams and are high in vitamins K, A, and C, all of which promote bone health. The finest aspect? Neither has a lot of oxalates, which are substances found in spinach and other vegetables that prevent the absorption of calcium. James, a retired teacher who enjoyed gardening, and I had a conversation with him once. In his backyard, he grew collard greens, which he ate nearly daily, generally sautéed with a little olive oil and garlic. His bone density, as determined by his physician, was higher than typical for his age. "Must be the greens," remarked James, laughing. It serves as a straightforward reminder that the foods we habitually eat and grow have a significant impact on our health. Which is superior, then? Both are winners, to be honest. While collard greens keep well in warm meals, kale is delicious raw in salads or smoothies. Rotate them throughout your week to provide a strong boost to your bones. If you truly want to make sure your body uses the calcium correctly, you must read the next section. Let's discuss the nutrients that facilitate and hinder your body's ability to absorb calcium. Increasing the absorption of calcium. You've started to include more calcium-rich foods on your plate, such as leafy greens, chia seeds, almonds, and tofu. This is a great first step, but many people overlook the fact that your body uses the nutrients you eat, not simply what you eat. Your body requires a few key allies in order to properly profit from calcium, and you must also stay clear of a few cunning roadblocks. The good guys should come first. Consider vitamin D to be the finest friend of calcium. Your body is unable to adequately absorb calcium if you don't get enough vitamin D. Sunlight, fortified meals, and fatty seafood like sardines and salmon are good sources of it. Magnesium. In order to transform vitamin D into its active form, this mineral is essential. Whole grains, nuts, seeds, and leafy greens all contain it. K2. This little-known vitamin aids in rerouting calcium from your arteries to your bones. It is present in fermented foods such as egg yolks, hard cheeses, and natto. Now for the less than helpful visitors. Your body may expel more calcium through urine if you consume a lot of salt. Use tea and coffee sparingly, since too much caffeine may somewhat impair calcium absorption. Beet greens, rhubarb, and spinach contain oxalates that can bind to calcium and prevent its absorption. Despite taking a daily high-dose calcium supplement, my friend Grace continued to exhibit inadequate bone density. Eventually, her doctor found that she had a serious vitamin D deficiency. Things greatly improved once she changed her regimen, added a daily stroll in the sun, and took a little vitamin D pill. The lesson? More calcium isn't always the answer. Sometimes your body needs the proper conditions to use it effectively. Speaking of making good use of it, what is your daily requirement for calcium? In the next section, let's make things simple and clear. How much calcium is required, and how can it be monitored? We've covered a lot of calcium by now. How to absorb it, where to find it, and even what stands in the way. However, let's take a moment to ask, how much calcium is required daily? The National Institutes of Health states that persons between the ages of 51 and 70 require roughly 1,000 milligrams per day for men and 1,200 milligrams per day for women. No matter their gender, those over 70 require 1,200 milligrams daily. Although that may seem like a lot, dividing it up into 3 meals and a snack makes it much more feasible. Here's an illustration of what that could look like in a day. 180 milligrams of chia pudding in the morning. 350 milligrams of tofu stir-fried for lunch. 100 milligrams of almonds as a snack. 230 milligrams for collard greens with dinner. You're exactly where you should be if you add plant milk that has been supplemented with calcium. However, how can you stay on course? You can use a number of basic tools. A simple meal journal or a phone note. Apps that track your daily calcium intake, such as Chronometer or MyFitnessPal. Or simply a list of your favorite foods high in calcium taped to the refrigerator. On her kitchen whiteboard, I assisted my aunt in making a weekly calcium chart. She would add things to her meals and cross them off each day. She claimed she loved tracking her progress, and that it made eating healthily feel more like a game than a burden. Keep in mind that consistency over time is more important than being flawless every single day. And now that you've learned everything, you're more than prepared for the last phase. Let's conclude with a 7-day challenge to put your newly acquired knowledge into practice. Your weekly challenge to strengthen your bones. This movie has covered a lot more ground than just foods and nutrients. We've discussed routines, decisions, and taking care of your bones. The one thing that sustains you throughout life. It is now time to use all of the knowledge we have gained. Check out this easy challenge this week. The 7-day challenge for strong bones. Every day, try to incorporate one of the foods high in calcium that we have covered. You can mix and match as you like. For your inspiration, here is an example schedule. First day, incorporate chia seeds into your smoothie or cereal. Day 2, Eat some almond butter toast or a handful of almonds as a snack. Day 3. Add sesame seeds to a salad or make a simple tahini dressing. Day 4. Savor sardines in a pasta dish or over whole grain toast. Day 5. Stir-fry your favorite vegetables with calcium-set tofu. Day 6. You can sauté collard greens with garlic or make a kale salad. Day 7. Put your favorites together for a filling, bone-building dinner. Extra advice. Monitor your emotions. Any modifications to mood, digestion, or energy levels. The smallest changes can sometimes have the biggest effects. After the week is over, come back and leave a comment about your experience. Describe what you tried, what you enjoyed, and what you want to continue doing. It's possible that you will encourage someone else to start. Give this video a thumbs up if it changed your perspective on calcium. Remember to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss our next video, which will be filled with even more tips on how to maintain your health and strength after 50. Till the next occasion, continue to be inquisitive, gentle with your body, and resilient. You're capable, powerful,